professionals to be who they claim they are. According to court documents, in total, the group sold more than 7,000 bogus credentials and received an estimated
Hello, everybody. How are you? Hey, everybody. How are you? What did Katie say? She said she likes your music. It's a vibe. Actually, that's something I created on playing around with StreamYard, I think it was. Was it StreamYard? I believe so. How are you guys? I was late because I was trying to I wanted to show you guys this news conference, but I just finished it. Hey Sherry, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Brittany Babs, member, Glam to Glam, member, Sherry, one of the best mods around. You guys don't see Sherry a lot. Hey R, member, my member. Hey Sea Soil and Sunshine. Welcome, welcome. Linda Johnson, mod and member. How are you, dear? Lady Charisma, how are you? I am Michelle. Welcome, pretty little butterfly. Hey, sis, how are you? Alice Flint and Sylvia. Hey, 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 hey. Who else we have in here? Let's see. Linda. Linda came by beforehand. And hey, my Isha member, Diva the Boss. Hey, modded member, how are you, dear? Um, so today, you guys, I'm coughing not because I have a cough, but somebody is cooking, and I think they put a little. You know how it makes you cough sometimes. Anyway, so I'm glad you all could stop by tonight again. It's good to see you for the second time this week. I'm trying to become more consistent with coming live. I like to have information. Sometimes I guess it's good to just drop in and say what's up. But I wanted to come and talk to you today. Hey Tammy, how are you? R is speaking. Hey. We got Maisha. I think I spoke to Maisha already. Sting of the Black Scorpion. Hey, Sting. I was just talking about you today. I was saying how you're the most likely to be in the chat. You are so supportive of everybody, and we truly appreciate that. So thank you so much for stopping by on a Friday evening. So today, you guys saw my topic. I'm sorry. I wanted to bring to your attention about something that's going on in Florida right now. And you guys probably have heard about it. Most of the things that I talk about, I don't get a chance to, like when I heard it when it first came out, but then I try to work on, bringing it to you. And so you've probably heard about it already. And so basically, and then you go on today also, you guys can go over to her page and she also discussed this today. Great minds think alike. A lot of times our content is relatively like it's very like we talk about some of the same things, and I think it's because we like to inform you and spread awareness. And so with this particular topic, it was kind of near and dear to me because I work in higher education and I take education so very seriously. And so to find out that there is some things going on out here, not only am I an educator, I am also a healthcare provider. I work in healthcare, as well. And that's what I teach, healthcare. So to see that there are nurses out here who are fraudulent, I'm not so sure if it surprised me as much as it broke my heart, because when you consider the fact that we put so much confidence and trust in our healthcare in America, we do. There's hey inclusion. How are you, dear? There are so many, especially during the time of COVID, how we heard a lot, and I think I mentioned this before, how I kind of advocated for those people who work in healthcare who are not doctors and nurses. That's what you hear when you hear healthcare in most cases. During COVID, we saw it a lot where they were like, oh my God, the doctors, oh my God, the nurses. But there are so many other individuals who make up the healthcare profession, and that includes the laboratory techs. Like I work in the laboratory. We find out, get results from different specimens that come out of the body to determine what illness a person has, or we run tests on to see if they are positive for certain illnesses or diseases. And so you have the phlebotomists, the people who go and draw blood from the patients. And during COVID, I saw a lot of that. I teach phlebotomy. That's one of the things that I teach. And so to see that they were kind of overlooked during that time, it brought awareness to me. And I went to the higher ups at the hospital that I currently work for when I do go there. I just mentioned to them, you have the CNAs who are in some cases called patient care technicians, who are bedside. And so at the hospitals during this time, the nurses were overworked, but so was everyone else. And so I just suggested that we do care packages for our phlebotomists in the lab, because although they would bring the specimens down to us, the fact that they are actually in the rooms right in the face of people who have infectious diseases and put their lives on the line, I felt that there wasn't enough attention given to them. And so the management there, they did, work with me in celebrating our phlebotomists. And it made such a difference because, to let them know that they were also important. And in my opinion, I treat the janitors and I treat the people who clean up the hospital and the people who store the supplies just as well as I would treat a physician. So everybody counts. And so that brings me to this situation. When it comes to nursing is something that is for years, from Florence Nightingale back all the way. And if you know anything about history and in nursing, Florence Nightingale is like the mother of nursing. And it's something that is is highly respected, right? And so in order to become a nurse licensed, especially in Illinois and most states, you have to not only take college level courses, you have to I teach allied health, as you all know, so I see a lot of nurses who come through. Guess what? Not everybody who starts, I don't make it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? They may make it through my classes, which is just like medical term and law and ethics and things like that. They might make it through those, but when they get to that core, when they go to work to their classes in that department, that nursing department, some of them don't make it out because it's rigorous. And the reason it's rigorous is because we are depending on them to be able to go and take care of some of the sickest people in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that is taken lightly. And so in order for a program to be effective, they have to, like in most cases, the schools go through what they call an accreditation process. And I did a video or live some months ago about accreditation and how strict they are before they accredit a program. They're supposed to, hold them to a high standard to be able to say we're accredited. That means that this school has a rigorous curriculum to prepare people to come out of their program successfully trained and credentialed. And so to see that in Florida, there was this raid, or not raid, but there was definitely a press conference where they talked about 25 people that they have located or they've identified who have fraudulent nursing degrees. There's 3 schools that were in question, and the FBI is involved. And so what they were doing is they were selling nursing degrees for $15,000. So basically, if you had $15,000, you didn't have to go to school, you didn't have to take tests, you didn't have to go through clinicals, you didn't have to pass the rotations, you didn't, and so the only thing that they couldn't guarantee, because that goes through a different agency, is the certification exam. And so ironically, some of the people who actually paid for the degrees were able to pass the NCLEX, which is the nursing certification exam. And so that goes to show you that either sometimes people are just naturally smart and they may know a lot, or they may have actually studied, because you can study for the NCLEX, right? Or they may have had some type of clinical background, because there was evidence of some of them actually having an LPN or an CNA certification. So they had some knowledge of nursing. So another reason that people can pass standardized testing, which is something that I have a love-hate relationship with, is because if a person or a student or a person taking an exam is a good test taker, guess what? They can pass. And then there's some who know the content and they're not good test takers and they can fail. So it's something that is relied upon, but it's kind of scary that someone could not go through a rigorous program or curriculum and they could sit and they can pass that, right? So, but that's what we depend on when we're looking for a job. Most jobs, I don't know if any hospitals that would hire a nurse without them having their NCLEX certification or licensing, or being in the midst of completing a college level program. And in Illinois, I know there was some things some years ago, pre-COVID, where they even had to have a bachelor's. They couldn't even just have the RN, because an RN is someone who just takes and passes the NCLEX certification or a licensing exam. But Illinois had started where they wouldn't hire RNs unless they had a bachelor's degree or they were in school, right? So it's just one of those things that brought it kind of it scared me, because we think about these people who come around. We have people on life support. Think about it. In the ICU, we have babies who are in incubators, who are, in NICU, very, very, very ill. And they're depending on a staff that has adequate training, right? And so the fact that someone could pay $15,000 and get a piece of paper and say that they are a nurse, it's very scary. And so the most frightening part to me is because they have this reciprocity thing where just because they got their licensing in Florida does not mean that they're not here in Illinois or in Pennsylvania or in California or wherever they decide to move, because a lot of the states will take that and either let you, do some training or testing to become licensed within that state. So I'm quite sure all of them are not just housed in Florida, right? So it is something that is going on. There was a huge press conference. Again, I have it. I just sent it to myself, emailed it, because I had to screen record it. It was hard to convert it and all that. But anyway, it's just another form of awareness. So when you go into the hospital, you have a right as a patient. Patients have rights, and they have them listed. Each hospital must have them in writing, and at wherever, if you ask for them, they have to be able to give them to you. And so it's I guess it's just as bad as doctors. There was some fishy stuff going on with doctors 2 years ago. So it just amazes me, and it makes me upset, especially, when you think about how hard some people have really worked to get where they are today, as far as like becoming a nurse or anything for that matter. I feel that way even when it comes to people who I went through a rigorous doctorate program, right? And so I had to do schoolwork, and then I had to do a 5-chapter dissertation, right? And so I hear people and we couldn't even claim ourselves. We couldn't even they told us not to use the title doctor until we were confirmed. And so that means we had to go through defending our research and all of that. And so the fact that some people can just pay and get this, and it makes me angry when I think about the amount of debt that I had from going to school. So it's a lot of personal reasons why this kind of touched me. But when I saw it, it's like, what is this world coming to? And so just be on the lookout. And it's not, even though they're focusing on Florida, it's, and they were saying that, they think some other states, so that once the FBI gets busy, it's gonna be something. So I'm quite sure there's going to be a lot of crackdown. I'm imagining, even at where the college that I work for, I'm quite sure, the nursing curriculum is probably going to be on, like, there's going to be more scrutiny, and it's going to make it harder for those who are trying to do it the right way, because now, they're under the microscope. So, anybody have any concern? You said not to mention the lives at stake. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's just amazing when during COVID at the hospital. I promise you, every day during the height of COVID, we used to have this. I was working a lot at the hospital during that time, because with the school, we were all online. Nobody was going into the building, so I picked up a lot of shifts there, because they had so much COVID testing. People were dying. When I tell you, every single day we had this dashboard where we could log in, and every day it would keep tally of how many people were put on a ventilator, how many were removed from a ventilator, how many were positive, how many died. And this was at our sister hospitals as well as ours. And when I say every single day, there were deaths every single day for months. And so to think about that and know that there's people walking in here who basically just walked off the streets, and they're taking care of our loved ones who couldn't even see their family members during that time. People died alone. Nurses, real nurses that I think were real nurses, were having breakdowns and meltdowns. And I mean, seriously, bursting out in tears at work, because they were saying, there's too many people dying. There's too much death. I'm serious when I say this. And it was really, really, while everybody was at home or on YouTube fighting or whatever they may have been doing, in quarantine, this is what we walked into and saw every single day. And so I feel like these people need to be prosecuted to the highest extent, because you don't play with people's lives, and you just don't do that. And a lot of people died, not that they were the cause of it, but I think the fact that they were not skilled, you know what I'm saying? There were people who had to lay upside down, because that was one of the treatments they had to have rooms that had pressurized air coming in, some of them. There was so many things that had to be manipulated in order to treat these patients. And so it's frightening. R says, yes, it is. Linda says, I had two aunts. You have two aunts, awesome nurses. Nurses are, and this is the thing, Linda, as back in the day, way before my time, I remember hearing stories about how nurses used to not have to go to school. They were trained on the job. It was really like your bedside manners, the fact that you could care for a patient and assist the physician. The doctors pretty much told you or trained you on what to do. So it wasn't it was like later on when it came with the whole, the fact that you had to go to school and get credentialed. So there was a time but these people haven't even been trained. And some of them, the highest they may have had was an LPN. That's not a nurse. You know what I'm saying? That's a licensed practitioner nurse. And then and that's what I say, even with the CNAs, the clinical nurses assistants, I think that there's probably, and they may even work on that, but if I was anybody on the board, I would suggest even the names being changed, because I've had students who, you're like, okay, so what's your career? Oh, I'm a nurse. You're a CNA. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? But it's such a loose term, and I just have an issue with that, So yeah, it's pretty scary, but there are some great nurses. If you've ever been hospitalized, I promise you, there's two nurses that I'll never forget. When I was hospitalized some years ago, they were the best. I'm telling you, they were awesome. And so that's what you look for. But then now it surprises me, and it kind of makes me wonder, because now that I think about it, when we're in the lab, we talk about, like, where did they come from? The questions that some of the nurses ask, we're like, are you freaking serious? They didn't know that, And now I'm thinking maybe we do have some here, huh? So, hey, Rita. Lady Charisma, I'm going backwards. I'm sorry. Says my mother, my sister-in-law, and my niece are all nurses. And I remember when they would say how hard clinicals are. Yes, Lady Charisma. I know at in our program, at the program that's at the school that I work in, I don't work with the nursing department. I work in allied health, but they have it where you have to pass each class with a, like they have a test or something, and if they don't get a certain score, I know it used to be 70%. I'm quite sure. I know it's probably 75 or 80 now, and they couldn't move forward in the program. So yes, it's rigorous, and they have every right to be, because of the fact that people's lives are at hand. You said my mom was a nurse and went to school for it. Yes, Maisha. R says, think about the people that died while any of the people charged was taking care of them. I feel so sorry for the families. And see, this is what is probably going to happen. Or as a result of that, some of these families are going to probably, just depends on where they can find these people located. And the letters, the ABC people, they will find these people. And so they're probably going to be trying to sue some of these hospitals, and it's not the hospital's fault. So I'm thinking the schools that they're probably going to do class action suits or something. Something is going to go down. Glam says a lot of people want the title but don't want to put thank you, the hard work. Glam, when I tell you, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about most degrees. Most degrees, or careers. You got to put the work in, just like everybody else did. You have to do your work, baby. You can't just walk in there, pay 15 grand, and apparently they were. And so I even remember there being a time when there were schools who were found giving out diplomas years ago, and schools, even here in Illinois, there was a huge crackdown on that, where they were falsifying diplomas. And so now, when I know for education, you don't just give a diploma. You have to submit certified transcripts that are stamped and sealed, and they can't be opened. And you have to submit that to whatever institution you're working at, because of the fact that anybody can create a diploma. I can get on here and create a diploma on the computer right now and make it look like an official diploma, except it won't have that raised seal on it, if they even put those on the I think they do put those on the actual diplomas. But now in certain careers, you have to have an official, unopened, stamped, sealed transcript. And in most cases, it can't come from, like, I couldn't just go to the job and turn in a transcript on my own. It had to be ordered and sent directly from the school. So all of that comes because of this falsification type thing. So it makes it where, they want to make sure that you're legit. Because of like accreditation, we have Higher Learning Commission who governs the schools, and they come out, and you can be a director of the student services and not have to worry about anything. But if you're standing in a classroom teaching, they have to have that on file, and it has to show, even as far as the envelope that your transcript came in stays in your file, to show that it was mailed, it was official. When I say they don't play, they do not play. Glam says R is so disrespectful, because there are some hard work, yes, good nurses in this world that work their butts off and they earn their title. Yes, plus some. I so agree with that. It is one of the highest respected careers in the world. It really is, because they leave their families to go take care of others, and that is so true. Okay, let's see. Glam. Let's see. Tammy says glam to glam. I agree, but at the end of the day, God sees everything they do. Glam. Okay, I guess I better go the right way, because then I'll be reading backwards, like Z to A. Yeah, but yeah. So it's something that's been it's very, very serious, you guys. It may seem like it's not that big of a deal, but it truly is. And so I take it very serious about people, falsifying and pretending and all that. No, be who you are, baby. Stand in your truths. If you are CNA, that's something to be proud of, baby. They are. When I tell you these, they are some of the most. The CNAs do a lot of the work that the nurses don't do, honestly, and I always credit them for that, because I don't, they may not have to go to school to do as much, which is why they have to do a lot of the work that it's almost like they say a lot of times people were at one point they were complaining about people coming across the border, and I stand firm in saying, and sometimes I don't have an issue with that, because guess what? They will come over here and do the jobs that we will turn our nose up at, right? And they do a good job. They're good workers. They show up to work and they show integrity in what they're doing. And so I look at it from the big picture, and nobody is better than the next, but there are certainly some people right here in America who were born in America as citizens who won't do the jobs as some of the people who sneak over here. And, so it's a lot to think about. So let's see. Linda says, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button as you come in, please. Thank you. Let's see. Brittany speaking. Okay. I was trying to see if anybody else had a comment. Katie likes the music. Tell Katie, hey, tell her to run up on me. Run up on me, Katie. Run up on me. I don't know why my mouse is acting crazy again. Let's see. Okay, so I wanted to show this. I was just reading the text. I'm sorry, you guys. Yes. Let me find this because this thing is acting crazy. Anybody ever had a ghost mouse? It's like when you're on your computer, the mouse just goes crazy and starts like somebody's taking over your computer. I'm going to have IT look at it because there's something going on with it. Okay, okay, so I see that. Let me see. I'm getting to your comments. I had to go to my phone. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so I saw that. Okay, so Nikki, hey Nikki, member, how are you? Inclusion is speaking to everybody. Tammy says absolutely. I don't want to miss anyone. Phone down for a second. Okay, so inclusion is not ignoring anybody. I do that sometimes when I come in, I say hi, and then I get caught up doing something. And I don't like to feel like I'm not speaking because I try to speak to everybody. Chi-Town, low end. Hey, Chi-Town, low end sister. How are you? This world is crazy and scary, says Nikki. That is so true. Bad and Bougie. Hey, Bad and Bougie. My daughter-in-law just graduated last month. She's an RN, works in labor and delivery, and she did it with 2 toddlers. I tell her I am so proud of her. That is such an awesome she deserves an awesomely high compliment because accomplishment, that's a big accomplishment on her part. Bad and Bougie. And just think about that. People having babies, the baby's in distress. It's so much that can go wrong. Shared your video of the little preacher, Ginger C. Oh, I got to see who the little preacher is. Is it a kid, Ginger? Tammy? Inclusion says, my mom was a nurse and she took her charge to care for others seriously. And that's so true. They should. They've worked hard for it. They put years in. They make good money. Baby, you could work 3 days a week as a nurse and make some good money. A lot of the nurses work 3 12-hour shifts. I know at our hospital they do. And that leaves room for you to do something else if you want to or not. They make really good money. Tammy says, what is this world coming to? I always say and. Okay, so Linda said her aunts were good nurses. Maritza, did I speak? I think I did speak to Marissa. Tammy. Tammy says, swag, I remember the nurse in New York committed suicide because she couldn't handle all the deaths in New York City. Yes, Tammy, that happens more than we know. Honestly, we had a nurse at our hospital who did it, and to this day, it hasn't been publicized. And those people, I'll get some stuff stirred up and like, okay, so when are you guys going to tell us about this? What happened? But the hospital that I work at is in a very like an affluent little suburb in Illinois, and they don't like that bad stuff. You know, I was searching for it on YouTube on Facebook because you know everything usually shows up there on the internet on the news stations. I'm like, now we know we just saw them for power washing this ground because this lady jumped off the roof of the garage, and why is this not being publicized? So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It really is. And then we kind of heard different stuff, and guess who had to give us information? The people who were the housekeepers, the people who clean up and stuff. Yeah, so sad. um yeah, but in New York was the worst, I think, in my opinion, from the COVID situation. So yeah, that was very devastating. My mother. Okay, so yeah, I saw that one. Think about the people. Yeah, I saw that one. Okay. Yes. I am Michelle. She says there are some good nurses, but I've worked with nurses that I wouldn't never want to touch me or a family member. And when I tell you that is so true, there's doctors like that too. Um, I am Michelle. But there are some nurses that are. I find myself saying sometimes like, must not take you. How like where did they go to school? Yeah, some of them are really really airheaded, but yeah, but there are some excellent, some great ones. When there's a good one, you got to hold on to that one. They're worth gold. Um, you said, Tammy says, nurses are so special. My nurse hugged me, wiped my tears, held my hand. She made me feel so good inside when I was admitted to the hospital. Yes, Tammy, that is those two nurses that I speak of. Actually, one of them actually prayed with me. I'm so serious. I was like, wow. And even one of the surgeons who was in the hospital, she was just God sent. I'm so serious. You do run across people like that. You really do. There are some good people in healthcare. A lot of people. Okay, we saw that. Yes, Glam R says you're correct. Some comments are being held for YouTube review of certain words used. Yes. So usually I go ahead and show them. But yes, YouTube, which amazes me because the stuff that YouTube allows to go on this app, but they do flag certain words and they'll hide them. And so we have the mods or myself have to manually like show your comment. If depending, it can be something really, really minute, but yeah, they try to be a little strict when they want to. Um, Tammy says, I am Michelle. Nurses make all the difference in your hospital stay. They really do. They do. If they're, like if they're attentive, if you're ringing the bell, the little thing to say I want some water or whatever. Some people are really sick, and you have some nurses you don't even want to see them go home at the end of their shift. You're like, do you have to go? Seriously, there are some that, especially if they work like overnight, and stuff, and it's like they'll say, well, we're changing shifts, and you're like, oh, please don't go. Yes, there are some really good ones. My cousin's daughter is a nurse. She went to school for many years. And so if she went for a lot of years, she's probably a nurse practitioner. Because they can go, they get the associates, they can get the bachelor's, and then when they can get the master's. And at that point, they can become a nurse practitioner. And some of them actually even go as far as getting a doctorate in nursing. So I know we have a couple of those at the school who teach nursing. And I said, isn't that weird, doctor nurse? They have the doctor so and so, but that's in an educational institution, so that's different. Let's see. Lady Charisma says, Glam, you're so right. You have to put in your blood, sweat, and tears, literally. And that is so true. In fact, most nursing programs are so rigorous that they advise you not to. I'm sorry, I'm getting text message. They advise you not to even work, even at the community colleges. I know I had a friend when she was at the community college. She was taking nursing classes, and she said that they said she couldn't work because they have to do clinicals, they have classwork. It was just that rigorous, right? So yeah. I agree, but at the end of the day, God does see everything. It's so disrespectful because there are some hard work. Yeah, I read that one. Okay, so I may have. Let me get down to the bottom then. Oh, okay. Justice says her sister was a masters of nursing. Yes, masters of nursing. Yes, that she went 3 times in. She went past the associates, past the bachelor's, all the way to a master's level, and that's a fully trained nurse, really trained. Linda, wow, YouTube is finally looking. Yes, they look. Linda, Tammy, they look for little stuff like that, but they let so much other stuff go on. Linda saying hit the like button. Nikki says so they're not going to school to get the license. No, what happened, Nikki, is that they said that that was a percentage of them. Um, I'm gonna share the I'm going to show the news clip. I can get that. There's a percentage of them that actually took the NCLEX exam and passed it to become a nurse, to become licensed. Because hospitals aren't just, unless it's a very dire need, like during COVID, I know they were calling for people to come out of retirement because there was a shortage. People were walking out. A lot of nurses walked off the job during COVID because of the fact that, it was so dangerous at the time. And nobody really knew a lot about COVID, so they were afraid to go in the rooms. But yes, most hospitals won't hire you unless you have the licensing. So if you have the degree, which is weird because they must have given them transcripts. Yeah, I'm quite sure for 15 grand, they're not just giving you a piece of paper. They gave them official transcripts, which is scary because then that it made them qualify to go and take the NCLEX to become a nurse. And so some of them actually passed it. You know, some people are smart enough to take a test and a standardized test and pass it. Or you can study for it and pass it, right? So they just didn't have the training. Justice says, my bad. Good evening, swag and chat. Justice had a very, you guys make sure you go and watch Justice's replay as well. She was talking about the case with the officers who took the life of the black young man, I want to say. And so people, I know I saw people saying, where's the outrage? If he was a white cop, there would have been an outrage and all of that. So Justice talked about that today. Glam Tammy says nurses rock. Yes, they do. Hey, blessings. Hey, sis. Maisha. Okay, Nikki says I used to be a CNA, so Nikki, CNAs do a lot of work, and I want to. I would love to be somewhere advocating for CNAs, LPNs, phlebotomists, and yeah, for those medical assistants. How can I forget them? That's my babies. I teach medical assistants. Those people need to be advocated for because they need more recognition. Because I know for a fact the training that they get, the amount of how versatile they are in healthcare needs to be recognized. Although I know the difference is the level of education. So obviously they don't go into the courses like the microbiologies and the anatomy and physiologies at the level like with the cadaver and all that. It's like a lot more intense coursework. So I get that, but I'm saying the skills that they come with and that they know, the things that they know needs to be recognized more. So once I retire, I think that's something I'm going to try to get with some of these certification agencies and try to advocate for them because they need it. Let's see. So Nikki, that's good. That's good. Lady Charisma, I agree. Swag, blessings, and hello, Queen. Oh, she's saying blessings. Hello, Queen. I am a CNA plus. I pass medicine. Yes, yes. I always think about my mother and grandmother when I'm taking care of people. I am Michelle. That to me, to work in a nursing home facility, I give so much respect to you. My niece works at a nursing home and they absolutely love her, the senior citizens that she works with. Because of her personality. Some people don't belong in any form of healthcare. They're too mean, they're evil, they're nasty. You really have to have the heart for people. And so my niece, she has these stories and they love her. Oh my God. And I just admire her for it, because she could be doing, anything, and that's what she loves doing, and she loves going to work and taking care of senior citizens, and I love it. And I'm glad that you're passionate like that. I am, Michelle, because you're needed. Just think about it. You know, when we get older, hopefully we won't end up in a facility, but who knows? Some people don't go to the facility because nobody want. It's not that no one wants them. It's because they need special care. Some people need more care than what can be given to them at home, right? So it's some people put their loved ones in the nursing facility against what they don't want to. It hurts them to do it, but they physically can't take care of them. So we want people like you taking care of us. Or, I would want someone who loves what they do. Seed, soil, and sunshine says, go back and read my comment. Let's see. Seeds. How did I miss you, girl? How did I miss you? Seed, soil, and sunshine. How did I miss you? I don't see it. Let's see. Can you retype it? I'm so sorry. I don't see it on here. Once this thing gets to a certain point, I think they just like disappear. I'm so sorry, seed, soil, and sunshine. Okay, Justice is speaking. Blesses is speaking. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, sis. Hello, Swag Found, and everyone in the chat. Good evening and happy Friday to all. Nikki speaking. Everybody speaking. Yes, some words are sensitive. Tammy says, everyone, we need a few more likes and we're good. Okay, Tammy. Okay, girl. Yeah, y'all hit the like. Hit the like. Run up on me, as Katie says. Run up on me. You don't. Oh, I see your badge, Nikki. You have your badge. You're green, girl. You're in the green. I don't know why you don't see it. Oh, I think you're talking about at the end of your name because you are in the green. Oh, you got the rose. Or did you put the rose there? Because rose is one of the badges. I don't know, but I see you in the green. Um, Miss Jimmy, you light up a room every time you enter the chat. Hello, Queen. Yes, Tammy, she does. I was talking to Glam today, and I mentioned that us content creators would be nice if we did like an awards or something. Like I always say, like the most likely person to be in the chat is Sting. Sting is everywhere, and there's some more of you too. But like Jimmy walks in and she has the most encouraging words, when she comes in, and yeah. Hey, in the service. Hey, Auntie. Shonda Vincent. Hey, Shonda. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Fanny. Member. Fanny got her badge right there. Says VIP. Hey, Fanny. Okay, everybody speaking. Linda Johnson. Good evening, sweetie. Happy Friday to you. Sting says, and Nikki, your name may be too long. Oh, okay. She says, mine was so mine was, so I had to shorten it, but your name is lit up. Yeah. So it could be that you have a long title. That might be it. Fanny speaking. Okay. Swag, she was the director of nursing. She was up there. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Yeah, she was a DPN. Or yeah, that's good. Director. That's what's up. She had an office in the hospital, honey. Maisha speaking. Okay, everybody's speaking. Hey, you gonna learn today? Wow, someone jumped. You just coming back? Yes, honey. Yes, she jumped, honey, and it still hasn't hit the paper. Yes, I did. Me being the investigator that I am with my skills, you know what I'm saying? I did go on Facebook and somehow I found a group from the town that the hospital's in, and found some information, and I actually was able to go and find her service because everything was being videoed, zoomed and stuff. So the service was zoomed, and I found her Facebook and stuff. And yeah, it was just sad. She was suffering from some, depression and stuff. So just some life situations. And she was a former nurse there. And yeah, she came back and she went to the top of our parking garage and she jumped. And the ironic part is that it's almost like she did it, like nurses switch shifts usually at 7, like 7, a lot of the nurses work 7 to 7 a.m. or 7 to 7 p.m., and so right at that shift change, that's when she did it. It was just so weird, just so weird. Yeah. And then this happened at another hospital because when I was searching for it, I found that another hospital, but theirs was actually listed. It was in the city of, no, it wasn't in Chicago. It was in another suburb of Chicago, but it was in Oakland. What's that? What is that suburb? Um, yeah, one of those suburbs out south. Oakland, Oakland. Yeah. Let's see, Sting. You're gonna learn today. I told them to go over there and watch a replay. You're gonna learn today has a nurse in her family as well, which is what prompted her to do this story too. So go back and watch her replay. Looks like everybody's just speaking. I must say I've had some awesome nurses around me. That's good, Linda. It's so important. Linda, been resting. Very cold here. Yes, in Chicago. How are you? I didn't go out today. I was supposed to, but I didn't go outside. But I will be going outside tomorrow. So hopefully it's a little better. Hopefully it's not snowing because I hate it. Avis, hey Avis. Good evening, swag and chat. Okay. Miss Fanny, I'm so happy to see you. Hope you had a wonderful day. Tammy, you have such a pleasant disposition as well. Justice says, I have met some of the most compassionate nurses at the breast cancer care center. Is that in Chicago, Justice? And you know, when people are dealing, that's another thing. When people are dealing with cancer and stuff like that, that is, I'm telling you, man, when people are sick, period. And that's even when I talk when I'm talking with my students, I talk to them about soft skills. Soft skills being that you may be very skilled in what you do. You may be great at drawing blood. You may be great at doing vitals or EKGs or whatever it is that you're doing, but do you have the professionalism, the compassion, the empathy, and things like that? Because that makes such a difference to a person who is laying in a bed, very ill, very sick, may have other issues outside of their, yeah, that is so important, especially people going through chemo and stuff, Justice. There's a nurse, a PCA, and two doctors I'll never forget. Yes, yes. Is the PCA like a PC, what we call a PCT, patient care assistant? Yeah, probably. We call them patient care techs. They do CNA work as well as they are trained. Some like ours at our school, the program that we have for it, they train in phlebotomy, EKG, and their CNAs. So yeah, oh that's good. Yeah, some of them are awesome. Hey, Swag and Chat. Hey, Carla. How are you, dear? Auntie, I'm good. Have a few doctor's appointments. And see, just like this, YouTube held Auntie in the services uh, comment, and all she said was "Happy birthday, glam" with some balloons and a thumbs up and a cake. So I had to click on show. So what was wrong with that comment? Right. YouTube is a trip. I am Michelle said there's a nurse that I'll never forget. When I had my daughter, I was sad on her off days. Yes, on her days off. Yes. You're like, okay, when is Lisa coming back? Oh, she's off. She only oh man, you're like, man, I want her to come in. You want your nurse, you want your good nurse. Linda, we try. Okay, CAT scan since the MRI failed. Oh, Tammy says, Linda, I'm so happy you have nurses is like a guardian angel when you stay in the hospital. They are, Tammy. The best nurses I've encountered have been men. Girl, Avis, the one that I'm talking about who prayed with me was a man. And then I later on found out that he actually knew one of my cousins and he actually went to church with him. And I was having, this was years ago when I was sick, and I was having where they had to tap, and I was nervous, when they go in your spine, and he told me, he said, put your hands over the table and like let them, while they were doing the procedure. And he said, hold my hands, and he prayed. I was like, wow, yeah, because a lot of them are afraid of doing things like that because of things being taboo, like praying and things like that. Lady Charisma says that is so true, Swag. They do advise you not to work. They advise you not to work. Oh yeah, when you're in nursing school, exactly, because they want your full attention, and I don't blame them. Even though, and I had considered that many years ago, nursing, but I could, I was a single mom. I'm like, I gotta work. I can't just be going to school. I gotta get a job. You know what I'm saying? But if you're able to, yes. Okay, let's see. My sister worked the weekends while receiving her RN BSN. Yes, very committed, and that's one thing that nurses show is a commitment to everything. You have to be committed, because not only does your sister probably had a family. Sometimes they have husbands, they have children, and then they work part-time and go to school. Yeah, it's doable. And I tell my students that I don't like a lot of excuses, although things come up, life happens. But I'm like, hey, you just feel so much better when you've earned it. You've earned what you get. My sister was the vice president of University of Chicago Nurse Finders. Oh, okay. And this service, yes, University of Chicago is one of the best hospitals. We have the University of Illinois, and we have the University of Chicago. University of Chicago is an acclaimed hospital in Hyde Park. Is that the one, Auntie? Let's see. Everybody's speaking. You're gonna learn today says 7,600. That's how many degrees that went out, right? Yeah. Let me see. That's how many degrees went out. You're right. Like 7,600 of them. That is so scary. They're out here somewhere. So now we go. You're like, are you a real nurse? No, no, I'm just joking. But yeah, I'm really serious. Shonda says my daughter works in nursing and in nursing school, but never she has never made anything less than an A since elementary. Exactly, Shonda. She's putting in that work, honey. Yes, she's putting in that work. Um, yes, yes, yes. Let me see. Um, yeah, they got transcripts. That's what I was saying. They had to have had transcripts, right? But and so they got away with it because of COVID, I think. The fact that people, there was a shortage of nurses. Because when did it start? But didn't it start in like 2016? I gotta look and see. I have the article here. Sweet. Oh, she said, I said I was in the hospital for you know what. Oh, okay. I had two nurses. Hold on. Trying to stop this thing. Okay. I had two nurses who were tired, overworked, and took my hand with no gloves and prayed over me. That meant everything to me. Hospitalized 5 days, cried every day. Yes, that's how I felt. I felt that way. Like it was like heaven sent. You almost want to say, did God send this person here? Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Seeds. I do. Wow. Blessing says, I'm listening while at my son's game. Swag, it's halftime. Hey, get that win. Get that win. Blessings telling me get that win. Um, let's see. Yes, CNA are a support system. Yes. And they need to get I honestly believe they need more recognition for what they do. Tammy says nurses can't make all the money they can make all the money they want in most states. Yes, I know a nurse who brought home $30,000 every month, and especially now and during because a lot of people have quit who have left the career, and hold on, drop down and pin your badges. Oh, a lot of them like traveling nurses and stuff. Oh, traveling. You can be a travel anything now and make tons of money. I know a young lady who worked at the hospital as a phlebotomist, and she took you dropped it, you said? Let's see. Yeah, I know someone who, and she's still out there like in different, she goes to different states and stuff. And somebody's asking for the membership link. Uh, Let me see. Glam, you say you dropped it? Let me see. Let me see. How come I can't see it? Where you dropped it? Let me see. You dropped it in oh, maybe. I'm trying to see. Oh, I see it. Okay, I had to click show. Okay, so the membership badge is there. Let me pin it. See if I can pin it from here. Um, yeah, and they can make so much money. Yes, they can. But even like I said, there's websites, job agencies, like temp agencies or whatever, and they have it where you can actually sign up. And I'm looking for it, Glam, so I could pin it. Let's see. Oh yes, Tammy. What you do in the dark comes in the light, honey. Nothing is hidden. It may be hidden temporarily. I'm still looking, Glam. I'm looking. I'm looking. I don't know why I can't see it. Oh, she dropped it again. Okay. This is weird that oh, let me do this. I know what I'm probably doing wrong. No. Hmm. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Okay, let me try to do it this way. Pin. Okay. I just pinned it. Whoever wanted the membership badge, I pinned it. Can you see it? Yes, but that's true. What you do in the dark comes in the light. Okay. Is it pinned, Glam? Yeah, it's pinned. So I'm not gonna keep you guys long. I was trying. Okay. Yeah, this thing is this StreamYard has been acting really well. Funny. Hey, pretty little butterfly. You say you can't click it? Let me see. Hold on. Show pin. Okay, I got it pinned there. Do you see it now? Val is up top. Pretty little butterfly. Do you see it now? Uh yes, it's an illuminated hidden issue. Yes. Okay. You can't. Let me see. Oh yeah, I see it pinned. Glad you still can't click on it. Okay, let's see. Oh, you say your sister couldn't work during clinicals, right? Exactly, Justice. It's hard. Um, we need even more for care in this pandemic. Oh yeah, the pandemic was ridiculous. Okay. My daughter in law trained on a 7 a.m., 7 p.m. Now she's going 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. She wanted the shift she's going to. She has a good support system. We got her. Yes, my grandkids are 5 and 3. That is awesome. That is really good. Yeah, you need a support system. And she's doing something fabulous. Okay. Awesome content. You always bring it. Thank you so much, Tammy. I appreciate you. I'm about to let you guys go because I don't like to go too much over an hour. I'm at 58 minutes. Um, you said my sister chose home. Uh, maybe I need to pin it, you think? I mean, maybe I need to drop it because Val, you still can't click on it. Hmm. Watching her pay. Yeah, yeah, it can be overwhelming watching patients expire. Yeah, patient care associate. Okay, I thought so. You're gonna learn today. Tammy says, Shonda, awesome. I appreciate your mom's hard work and dedication. Yes. My mom is a retired nurse. Yes, Shonda. And I bet they were trying to call her. Thank you so much, Swag. Oh, of course you're gonna learn today. We have great minds think alike. I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, what? I was just working on that. But that's okay. It needs to be spread. There needs to be awareness because it makes me want to not get sick, honey. I don't know who's taking care of me. Um, yeah, a lot of people went to home care nursing as well. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to get down here to the bottom. You guys, please don't forget, those of you who are content creators, don't forget to, if you're interested in the month of love, we still are going forward with it as of today. um, if you are interested in a topic, oh, you making tacos? Sting, I had tacos earlier. Um, hey, my beautiful blossoms, my beautiful blossom TV. How are you? That's okay. You're late. You're here, boo. Butterfly, you have to do it from a laptop or computer. Oh, that might be why. If you have an iPhone, Pretty Little Butterfly, it won't let you. I don't know why iPhone is like that. Really, that's so weird. But yeah, and I just did an update, and I don't think it's. I still don't think it lets you. Mm-mm. But you may have to do it from a computer. Let's see. You can go to my community wall. The membership link is there. Yeah, but I don't think it'll let you do it unless you're on a computer. No, it's asking if I want to report or block it. Okay. Yeah, you have to do it from the computer. If you have an iPhone, Pretty Little Butterfly. God bless and God blanket us all. Thank you so much in this service, God is. We appreciate that. We need it. We really do. Okay, so yeah, I want to. It will let her click on the link with an iPhone. She just can't click on the. Yeah, exact. Oh. So you can't click on the link. Glam said, as long as you're clicking on the link. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Carla says, I was a PCA and med tech during COVID. So you know about those med techs working in that lab, girl. That's what we do down in the basement. The lab is always in the basement. And it was sad to watch and take care of residents in assisted living in South Carolina. Yes. Yes. It was sad all the way around. Oh, Val, I don't know what's going on then. You go to the community wall. No, go to where you see where it says membership, and you should be able to click on it there. Um, yeah, it was just so sad to all the way around. Then the fact that they and like some of the nurses had to like be in place of family members during that time because they wouldn't allow anybody to visit. Like there were people on their deathbeds who could not. Oh, Nikki says driving but listening. Thank you. Who could not be there with them, and so the nurses would sometimes they would FaceTime the family members so that they can see them and talk. When I tell you, that's why it just amazes me at the amount of hatred we still have in this world after what we endured and we went through. This pandemic was hadn't my grandmother's 93, almost 94, and she says she has never seen anything like COVID. It's been like 100 years since there's been something that devastating to take place in the United States. And it just seems like after that, like during that time, more people were more passionate, they were nicer and things like that. But it's like once it's just like anything else, once it's over and it's worn off and people got vaccinated and went on back there, to normalcy, it's like people went on back to being mean, evil, vindictive, and all of that. And it's just so sad. But and I always looked at it as what if God was trying to get our attention, right? Because yeah, a lot of people, when I say I think I probably what they call it, suppressed the amount of people because we would walk in the hospital and on the wall they would have the amount of lives that we lost on the wall. And Yes, I'm so serious. It was just devastating. Every day it's like, okay, how many died today? 3. How many died today? 4. I mean, 2. I'm like 9. I'm like, what? I'm so serious when I say that. It's like, come on, people. Don't think this can't happen again. And then they came out with the monkey stuff, and we had a couple of those people. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. That was totally wrong. But a couple of patients with that, and I was afraid that was about to take off. But it's like it's kind of died down. So hopefully, it went on back to wherever it came from. I am Michelle says, please, if you have family members in nursing homes, please check on them, please. Yes, I am Michelle. Michelle, is there a particular reason that, because you said that like with passion, is there any particular reason that you're saying that? You want to come up and tell us something? Because I mean, that's true. Yeah, please check on them. Even people who are hospitalized, you'd be surprised at the amount of people who are in a nursing home or hospitalized and nobody visits them. And I always say that if you have family members, I'm sure I know this is probably what you're saying. Show your face and show that you care and that you're concerned and that you'll ask questions, because some of those people treat your family members accordingly. If nobody visits those patients, some of them don't get the attention. Like if I had somebody in there, they know I'm coming, I'm asking questions. And I know my grandmother, because I'm her person, like her power of attorney or whatever. And when I go with her, we have a doctor's appointment coming up actually in next week, in fact. And when I'm there, because she's in great health and in her right mind, she lives independently, but her hearing sometimes, and then she doesn't understand a lot of the stuff that. So I asked the doctor, and her doctor actually looked at me like, you know your stuff though. Yeah, I want to know why is she feeling dizzy? Do you think you have her on too many blood pressure medications? Because her blood pressure is really not that high, and I noticed her list had a couple medications on there that indicated that she was being treated for hypertension. And you know what, you might be right. Plus, I'm gonna have. And she took her off one of them, and guess what? My grandmother stopped having the dizziness. And I'm like, she's lost weight. She's losing weight, which that could be a part of growing old, because they kind of tend to forget to eat. Believe it or not, like she'll tell me she's drinking water, she's eating, but she's by herself. So, I'm called, what are you doing, Grandma? I'm cooking. I'm making this. She cooks, But yeah, so you got to show that, yeah, I'm here, boo. I'm paying attention. You better make sure you're doing all right. Yeah, because I want to know, why is she taking all this? What's this for? What's that for? So but since she's taken her off one of those meds, I promise you she's been feeling better. She doesn't have the dizzy spells anymore. I think her blood pressure may have been dropping too low. Carla, dementia patients may not be aware. Yes, I agree. Yes, dementia. Yeah. Oh, that's an evil illness. Hey, D Classic After Dark, how are you, boo? I have not forgotten about you. I did send you a text. I don't know if you got it, because I didn't get a response, but I am going to reach out to you. I know you were trying to get in touch with me for something, so I'm going to reach out to you. You says he was trying to get our attention. He said, slow down, but be still for a while. Oh, yes. Sting. When I tell you, you don't have to tell me twice, because I believe that. God was trying to get our attention, America. He was trying to get our attention. Not even just America, the world. That was a worldwide pandemic. Something that hadn't happened in 100 years, and people really out here still acting a fool. So he's probably going to say, next time, you know what? Because we lost what? All the people that I took, that wasn't enough. I know people who lost husbands and fathers and brothers and sisters and mothers, and some people lost 4 or 5 people in a whole. Some people lost an entire family. I know here in Illinois, there's this church the pastor and his wife, both within like a month or so, they both had it, and they both left here. Yes. So I mean, yeah, it's crazy. We don't, but we're so I don't know. I don't know. I can't even describe it. Hey, Smooth. Hey, bro. Smooth, what's happening? He says, ladies and queens. Okay, everybody speaking. I am Michelle said, that's why I'm saying that's way exactly how you're explaining it. Yes, please show that you are attentive, because you don't want that person to not get the care that they deserve. I mean, hey, call up there, check on them. Because if they know somebody's checking, they know you're coming tomorrow, or her daughter's coming, or her granddaughter. Because me, they be like, my grandmother, I don't want her to ever have to go to one. But if she ever gets to a point where she has to, because I just can't care for her, like it would have to be really significant, then they'll know, oh, we better get her cleaned up, because her granddaughter will be here at such and such time. I probably would switch up the times on them, sneak in early like you do the kids when they're acting up in school. Just show up and looking in the door and the window. Yeah. Yeah, like we better like kind of straighten her up a little, change her sheets. And yeah, you got to do that. You have to. um yes, Lord, deliver us from this. It's not over. China, 1.5 billion affected very bad there. Yes, that's right. India was really bad. Yeah, you're right. Like my sister, we have our oldest brother in the nursing home. Oh, she said, you're like my sister. Oh, I'm like your sister. My sister goes up there at least 3 times a week, and she asks a million questions, honey. I sit, grandma, first of all, she's going to say, you got to come with me. Yes, I'm going with you, boo. Let's go. Grandma's feisty too. Grandma is feisty, and I'm right there listening. Talk to me. I'll explain it to her later, because you're gonna have to talk louder for her anyway. You know, you have to. I only get that's my very last. I have my father still, and this is his mom, but she's my very last. You know, grandparent, and baby, I promised her I'm going to be there for her. I've seen folks pass, and being lonely is a slow death as well, believe it or not. Yes, Carla, it is. It really is. And I've been trying to get grandma to move in with us. She doesn't want to leave her. She loves her apartment. She lives in a building with all seniors, but it's their own apartments. It's not like a facility where they have people on staff or nothing. It's just a senior citizens building. And she was the very first person to move in there when they built it. It was brand new, and she loves it. It's really nice. It's new. It's modern. And I'm like, Grandma, don't you want to come out of the city? Don't you want to come to the sub? I don't want to live in no suburbs. That's what she said. I don't live in no suburbs. I said, okay, Grandma. And then I said, don't you want to see? She was still taking the bus, and I told her to stop, because CTA, Chicago Transit Authority. Yeah, Grandma knows her way. She'll tell me, why are you listening to that thing, that GPS? Why are you listening to that thing? All you gotta do is go north on here and south on here. And she knows how to get around when I'm taking her. So I'm like, Grandma, I need to listen to the GPS. Because she's very, very feisty, but she says, I like to be able to get on the bus and go where I want to go. I said, Grandma, we have, my daughter, my son-in-law, my other daughter, my husband. I'm like, we can get you around. I don't like waiting on nobody. I like to get up and go. The only time she wants me to go with her is when she goes to the doctor. But I still go and take her to the grocery store and stuff like that, because I don't want her on the buses because of Pookie and them. They're stupid. If that's a word that could be blocked on YouTube, Pookie and them have issues. And I said, Grandma, they don't care about you being a senior, But she's not afraid. She's not afraid at all. So why is it not? It's not letting me. Well, let's see. Val, I see you posted something, but yeah, I tried to get her to come and stay out here with us. I'm like, Grandma, come on, stay with me, because like her TV, how the TV acts up the cable, and what you need to do is unplug it and plug it back in. Grandma has the hardest time. She'll call, my TV is acting. I'm gonna say, Grandma, this is why you need to live closer to me. I can't drive all the way to Chicago just to it's not that far. I mean, but it's a drive. It's at least 35 minutes, And she's like, she does not want to come. So I know one day, she'll be 94 in April. So one day Grandma's gonna probably end up here, because I don't see Grandma going nowhere no time soon. Good night, swag. God blessings and chat. Okay, take care of yourself. I hope you feel better in the service. We're trying to post it, but it won't let her click on it. Drop your link. Okay, let me see. Let me go to it and drop it. That's weird. YouTube trying to be strict. What's wrong with them? Yeah, so yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because we need check on our people. Check on your people, honey. Let's see. It says join. Let me see. Membership. Membership. Okay. I'm about to drop it right now. Let's see. I wonder if my sister sometimes she's in the bushes sometimes. Okay, do you see it now, Val? See if that works. Bad and Bougie said that's a blessing. Yes, it is, Bad and Bougie. Bad and Bougie, it is a blessing. My grandmother, oh my God, if you're a member, and I don't know if you all saw this, but on my membership, I have her dancing with me at my wedding. Well, not dancing with me at my wedding, but like it was like we were dancing, and it was like that song, "Get Down Low, Get Down to the Low, Down to the Floor." Grandma was getting down, baby. Y'all make sure y'all go over there. It's on members only, because you know these people. I ain't gonna even say what I would do by my grandmama. But oh yeah, I see it now. It's blue. Yeah, I see it. But yeah, grandma, she likes to turn up. She likes to shake her body, move, and she's a little something too. I said I want to go live and let her talk and tell us, because I do want to gather some of have like a series of senior citizen, not senior citizen. I'm a senior citizen. I'm 52, almost 53, but women who are 60 and older to possibly come and like give us words of wisdom, let us ask them questions and stuff like that. I know I said that before, but grandma is definitely one. I just don't want, I want her to like talk and tell us. Yeah. So that'll be awesome. You said she likes to be able to get up and go when she gets ready. Yes, I am, Michelle. She does. And when she's ready to go, she's ready to go. Yes. But I don't like her on the bus. I don't. These people I'm serious. And it's not just Chicago, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So I need her out here with me. I told her I can even find you a senior citizens building out here. And she looks, But yeah, independent. And I got that from her. I know how she feels. Okay, peeps, I'm not going to keep you. I'm just rattling on right now. But so be on the lookout. If you are a content creator, please go to that post where it says month of love, because actually February is almost here. And so what I was thinking of is maybe taking a day out of each week, and then people could sign up or something, and we do like we did for New Year's Eve, where people like a sort of like a live-a-thon, and you talk about love, like for instance, talking about the nursing facilities, maybe the love of grandparents or great or people, love of seniors. If you work as a CNA, you're doing that. Most of us don't do jobs because of the money. Some people do, but most of us do it. It's not letting her join. That is so weird. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, but so keep that in mind. I'm gonna let you all go. I'm gonna have to help Val, help Pretty Little Butterfly join. Uh, we can do it. I don't have to be live for you to do it. Yeah, there may be a glitch or something. So I'll work with you in joining. And so thank you. You said love on grandma. I lost my mom 6 months ago due to a stroke. I miss her so much. I've lost a lot of weight behind her. Death, no appetite. Going to the doctor Wednesday. Oh, Bad and Bougie, I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry. But man, that's something. 6 months ago, yeah. Life is so unpredictable, and you have to love on people, love on your children. And it's amazing that you just said that, Bad and Bougie. Do you have a page, Bad and Bougie? Because that's what I'm saying. Talk about stuff like that during the month of love. It's like I said, it's not all about chocolates and candies and booze and girlfriends and husbands and what. It's not. It's more to it. Love is a universal language, right? And like your my grandmother or your mom, the loss of her, Uh so yeah, go find out why you're losing weight. And I'm quite sure it's because you're probably, experiencing loss of appetite due to your emotions, but still get it checked out. Oh, you don't have a page. Okay, Bad and Bougie. Girl, that's a page name. Bad and Bougie. That's a page name. That's a t-shirt, girl. No. Okay, ladies and gents. I thank you so much for staying. I'm surprised there's so many of you still here, because I'm just running off at the mouth at this point. And I will be back soon. I'm going to try to be a little more consistent. Um, some of the things that I am looking forward to talking about is my next topic. I think, and I've worked on it, is about having things in place, such as insurance policies, bank account information, just in case. Hey, no, tomorrow's not promised. Your family member should be able to go and pick up a folder or something, even if you have it online, saved on the computer or whatever. Everybody should know where they stand in the event of your demise. People should be able to know how to contact your insurance companies, know what type of benefits, things such as like like your banks. Banks sometimes give, like I know the credit union, we just got a letter. They said they give you $2,000 worth of insurance just for being a member of the credit union or whatever. Things like that. There's monies that are left because no one knows. And, your family members, it's not all about money, but it's still good to have them informed. So that's something that I will be discussing probably, if not this weekend, early next week. Just some resources and information, a list of things that you need to, that is important that you have in place, okay, for your family members. I keep a red folder, and my husband, my kids, I don't want to look at that. I don't want. I'm like, no. If something happens, everything is here. It's written down. It has my social security number on it, my date of birth. Not that they don't know my date of birth. It has it has um it has State Farm insurance. It has the college life insurance. It has the retirement system, the pension stuff. It has the credit union, the bank, the 401k. It has all of that information in it so that you pick up this one folder and you handle my business, right? No, you don't want to think about it, but I'm going to have it prepared so that it's there. And people are like, oh, I don't, why are you talking like that? No, we need to talk about that, right? So we will be discussing that in our next, probably in our next live. I changed my name from Glam. Oh, that's Glamour of Two. Bad and Bougie. Glamour of Two, baby. I know that's right. You changed your name. I see a lot of people doing that, changing their names. Sting says, great commentary, Swag. Thank you so much, Sting. I truly appreciate you. And so before you all go, if you could please do me a favor, you already know, put it in the chat, say it to yourself, make sure you hit the like button, share if you can, and subscribe and become a member if you would like to. I must, I can, and what? I will. Make sure you put that in the chat or say it to yourself. Until next time.